everybody, how's it going? So, mind my voice, I've been talking for a very long time. And this is my second go at this video because I'm very bad at this, come to find out. Today, we're taming the TIDEPUP. And we're here on my server so we can go and we can tame that. Right? So we're on my ship right now. And we're not staying on my ship. We are going to end up going and we're going to go into creative. And the reason we're going to go into creative is because I would like to show you guys kind of firsthand very quickly where to find these guys and what to do. I'm going to need some commands just to quickly grab some things for you guys. So first and foremost, grab ourselves a gene scanner. Oh boy, it is going to be a rough one today. We are going to go and grab TIDEPUP. And they are found near the coasts of every island and the beaches, from what I can gather. Anywhere there's a coast, a beach, anything like that, you'll find a TIDEPUP. They tend not to venture very far from here. All this information that I've gotten to be able to give to you guys was from Syntac. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because I could only figure out very few things about this. I figured out, like, its abilities, all of that, but as for how to tame it, I was in the right ballpark, but I couldn't quite master it, right? So, you need a tame. You will use this Dilo as a tame. You gotta get yourself a tame. Gross. This is actually kind of good. This is alright. Alright, so you need a tame, and it needs to end up getting lower than 10, or it needs to get about 10% of its health. So we need it around 54 of its health, right? So there's the, I think that's the TIDEPUP right there. I can't tell. We need to lower you just a little bit more. A little bit more. Don't kill it. A little bit more. Yeah, see, that's alright. Right there is perfectly fine. And then, we need to go get the TIDEPUP. And we need to leave the TIDEPUP to it. So we gotta find it again. Oh, there it is. Look at this goopy little guy. They plap. They're adorable. Look at that. They're gross. We bring them down here. We bring them to our Dilo. Come on, little guy. They'll kind of follow you. They're curious. They're kind of curious at what's going on, right? Come on, little guy. So you gotta be patient with them. They're not the brightest, right? Look at him. Little dork. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do you see? Look. He's hurt. He's in dire need of your attention. Oh, he's healed. That's not good. There we go. Now he went and he healed him up. Now he's tuckered out. So now what we need is we need some kibble. And we got to feed him the kibble. And I didn't have it. that's on me. But you need to end up feeding him the kibble when he ends up doing that. And that'll increase the taming. As soon as he goes to sleep. As soon as he tuckers his little self out. So we're going to do this. I guarantee you could probably use prime meat. There we go, there we go, there we go. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And done. Extraordinary kibble. You got yourself a little tide pup. Now, this guy's only level 10. And that's alright. Right? He's only level 10, but he's got some cute little things to go through. He's got some cool little things that we're going to check out. So this little guy is a shoulder pet. But not only is he a regular shoulder pet, but you see how he's sitting? See how he's doing whatever the hell that was? Holy. That was kind of creepy. You can have 2 shoulder pets of this little guy. Right? So you can have you can have your tide pup, and then you can have an otter, or a parrot, or something of that nature. And that's kind of what you want to do. Right? Because this little guy gives us... I don't know what this is. Anyway. This guy gives us the increased health recovery and reduced oxygen consumption. Which is fantastic. It is great. And you'll notice over there at the kind of middle right of my screen, we've got 2 little icons. Now, I'm not sure what the first one does, but the second one is really cool. So the second one is based entirely off of how much work this little guy puts into you, right? So we go over here, I get myself a fire. This is the most efficient way to do it. Again, I got all my information from Syntac. You can go check out his video. It will be a lot more, well, cohesive. Probably talk a little more in depth on a couple of things that I might just be touching up on. You walk over to the fire, put your wood in, of course. Then you go light the fire up, and then you take off your creative mode. If you're me. You see that 40, 60, 72, 80, 88, 96? Pretty sure if I back up now, and I just kind of let him do his thing. No, okay. But that number down there usually tells you around, like, how your tide pup's behaving. We'll get a little closer now. Now we'll back up. And I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, look at that. It healed me for a decent amount. And at the very top it said it received a little bonus growth. Right? Now you want it to do the bonus growth. Because that is entirely based around this. Right? Entirely based around this. Now I could sit here and do this 50 times. A little less. But, you know, I could sit here and do this a good multitude of times. And get this all the way up. But then, when you do get that all the way up, it gives you 2 options. You can either keep it as a tide pup, of which it gets a little bit of an enhanced boost, a little bit of an enhanced buff, which I really enjoy. Or you can grow it up. And if you grow it up, you have a whole new range of abilities that you have access to, but you do not have access to the smaller form of it, again, as far as I know. So, if we just pop our little guy right there real quick, and we get ourselves a larger one that's already grown up after that little genetic meter has reached full. Alright, so, you sit there, and you get it all the way grown. You get this big guy right here, who has 34 into health, 53 into stamina, 44 into food, 46 into weight, and 47 into melee. I did spawn in a level 150, perfect tame, so keep that in mind. This is not a showcase of what a level 10 does when you grow it up. But this is a showcase of just what a larger one that you get that's alright will be. Right? Kind of an average thing. Not very great rolls, but not the worst either. So, things that this big guy can do. First, you need to get your saddle. The Ingram for this guy is right around 36. So it's fairly early. It's going to cost you 10 metal, 50 fiber, 5 cementing paste, 80 hide, and 20 wood. But once you get that all crafted up, which will be in a smithy, by the way. I just realized I'm naked. There we go. You will have this, and this saddle looks fantastic. It looks so good. Hold on. Give me just a minute. God, I have ruined my voice. Things I do for you guys. Look at this. You got embroidered axolotls. Well, those aren't embroidered. Those are just kind of stitched in. You got little axolotls right here. A water jar going on. It looks like a health brew right there. I love the wood detail that they got going on. The netting. Something for you to hold on to. Right here they have a nautilus flask. That's pretty neat. That's really creative. I love that the branches on the gills have this like bioelectricity flowing through them. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there is no applicable reason that axolotls would have this right now in real life. It's definitely got something to do with healing in Ark specifically. But overall, it's a giant salamander. It's just a big salamander. And axolotls aren't salamanders. They kind of are, but aren't. It's weird. But you know what I mean. This is a big old plappy salamander. And you might be like, what do you mean plappy salamander? Well, we hop on this bad boy. Listen to that plap. Plap, 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 plap. Just some wet plapping. Go here, we look at it. Some squishy, squirty plapping bites. It is gross. It is so gross. But, you might be asking, well, what does he do? You know, the bites, whatever, all that's whatever. What does he do? Well, we hop back off real quick. We go over to our little guy, and we beat him up a little bit. You know, we hurt him up a little bit. He got hurt in battle. Well, we'll just toggle our regenerative zone. And we'll turn on our life sense so we can see how hard it is and how much we're healing it. So remember, we had a relatively low health Dilo. It has only like, what was it, 700 health, something like that. It's fully healed now. So keep that in mind. Higher health dinos are obviously going to take longer. But with life sense, you can see the tames around you, their health as it's low, from how I've gathered. And then you can turn on your zone to have this fairly large radius. This is, I think, much larger than a Daeodon's, much larger than most healers' radiuses. And you can reach them and start healing them, and they can benefit from you being around. This also works really well underwater. So this is kind of your underwater Daeodon, right? These are not going to be your frontliners at all. They are your support. You want these guys in the back, healing up, getting your guys what they need. You do not want these guys taken head on. We got this Lystra over here, which these guys also have a lunge, by the way. They can do this in and out of water. But with this Lystra, we're doing about 120. And that's 120 with 402 melee. I think we said that it had, what, 30 something into its melee? What'd it have? It had 47 into melee. That's nearly 50 points, and we're doing only 102. Right? You're not hitting hard. You're not hitting hard with this at all. I gotta talk over a storm now. But in the water is where this guy really shines. Right? Oh god. You can get stunned by eels. You can also get knocked off by jellyfish. But you got a nice jump. You can be jumping in and out of the water. You can be healing. I haven't quite figured out what Dispel does yet. I haven't been able to figure out what Dispel does. I haven't been able to figure out what Stasis does. I think Stasis is more of a heals your own TIDEPUP. Or what did that do? What did that do? That gave it a buff of some kind. I've seen that before. I've not been able to catch it. It gives it a really quick buff. And I'm unable to catch what that buff is. And then you have Reversal. And I'm not sure exactly what Reversal does either. Maybe if I do this, and then I do this. No, that was just Stasis. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of unaware of what a couple of these abilities do. But this guy is going to be a great early game water mount. It's going to be awesome having it around. Is it the kind of guy that you're going to see just hanging around your ship out in the wild? Absolutely not. Not super what the dossier described, but also kind of exactly what the dossier described all in one, you know what I mean? It's kind of goofy that way. But is what it is. I love these guys. I think they're really cool. I think they're kind of neat. They are the new best thing in terms of water support. You're gonna want these guys for all your kind of water adventures. When you're fighting motor, probably have one of these on a friend on one, just in the background, healing up your stuff and all of that. Guys, that is all for this video before my voice inevitably decides to just end its own suffering. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. And on that note, I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay hydrated. Go get yourself a TIDEPUP. Relatively easy. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay hydrated. Bye.